Okay, we're going to create this. Let's see how it looks. And then we want to understand it. Okay, I forgot to run this, I think. So first I need to run that. Then I'll try it again. Okay, so this is it. And so like we said, for example, here it's very negative, and here it's very positive, and here it's even, I guess, more negative, and so on. Remember, these are all now supposedly equal to 100 at 1997, but that actually doesn't really matter. It's just the shapes that we're interested in. So whatever it's equal to doesn't really matter. In fact, we just arbitrarily changed it to make it equal to 100. So it's really the shapes that we're interested in. So now let's read what he says about these. And IER, ID, GO, ICS, and INHS. So let's read what he says about the horizon plot in general. The horizon plot represents exploratory data analysis for economic research. It's common to use a two-color gradient, such as red to white, or red to white to blue, to display distinct levels below the origin to above origin values, right? So we said dark blue and dark red. The origin we have selected for the four economic series is the value 100, the base for each index time series. The result is shown in our figure. The horizon plot reduces the amount of space needed to display multiple time series, and through the use of color makes it easier to detect relationships across the time series. Granger causality tests and dynamic regressions notwithstanding, well, we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but this is a way to try to test whether one event causes another. So we're looking for perhaps these, increase in employment causing a better economy, or causing maybe a better sentiment, or vice versa. We're looking for that kind of thing. But he says even without the Granger causality test, you might detect a leading indicator in a horizon plot. So that is something that's preceding. So you get a big dip in one thing, and then soon after that you get a big dip in the other things, long before statistical indicators reveal its existence. Okay, so he says, looking at the horizon plot in figure 5.2, we can see that, now this I didn't see it so clearly, but maybe you'll see it, that three of the four indices, IER, ICS, and INHS. Let's see, what are those? IER, ICS, and INHS. So not this one. So all but the second one. Move in consort. Well, maybe. I think what he means is that there's red here, red here, red here. There's also red here, but then there's big drops here, big drops here, big drops here. And what else does he mean? I'm not sure. He says, except for these. So this one doesn't have that big red drop over here. I guess that's what he means. And this has kind of, well, anyway, he says that he can see a relationship there. That three of them move in consort. Red indices indicates below average, below the index of 100 values, and deeper red further below. Note that the deep red in ICS is observed a couple of months before the deep red in IER. Let's check that. ICS and IER. ICS and IER. Just that? I guess he means this here. This is a big negative, and then you get this big negative. Okay, so maybe here compared to here. Suggesting that the consumer index of consumer sentiment may be a leading indicator of the employment level. So when consumer sentiment drops down a lot, then soon after that employment's going to drop down. Well, that sounds naturally correct or intuitively true, but he says he can see it there. The index for new homes also experiences deep declines prior to declines in the employment rate and remains at very low levels throughout the period of observation. INHS. So here and here it's quite low, I guess. Okay, so now he says, having gathered the data and looked at the plots, we turn to forecasting the future. For these economic time series, these are economic time series we're looking at, we use something called autoregressive integrated moving average, or ARIMA models, or what are often called Box-Jenkins models. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're also going to use that software that we saw, that I showed you earlier, or we read the vignette for it. Okay, so let's stop this video here, and then we'll start with ARIMA.